Not losing weight whilst you're in a calorie deficit? You're going to find out why in today's video. Hey there, it's Fahad here from Fit with Fahad, and if you're new to this channel, thanks for joining me and finding my channel. Now, if you're expecting to find a bodybuilder teaching you how to become a bodybuilder, you're going to be badly disappointed because you're in the wrong place. However, if you want to build an aesthetic physique and improve the quality of your life, then you're in the right place. So if you want to look more like Bruce Lee and less like Lee Priest, you're in the right place. So make sure you click that subscribe button, click that bell notification so you don't miss a single video. Now let's crack on with today's video, which is all about losing weight and a calorie deficit. So today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why you're not losing weight even though you're in a calorie deficit. And the truth is, if you're not losing weight, unfortunately, there's no magic reason as to why, you're just not in a calorie deficit. The truth is, you probably miscalculated something along the line. So most of these, if not all of these, reasons as to why you're not losing weight will revolve around the fact that you're probably not in a calorie deficit. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but these are very, very few and far between. And if you are one of the exceptions to the rule, then you're going to want to seek medical advice, because your problem with regards to your weight loss stalling, even though you're in a calorie deficit, could be a sign that something more sinister is afoot. And if that's the case, then you are going to have to get checked out by a medical professional. However, there are the 99% of people who think they're in a calorie deficit and they're not losing weight, which we're going to discuss today, and you're more likely to be in the 99% than that 1%. Well, that's not scientifically, statistically accurate, but you get my point. So the first one, and let's cover that elephant in the room, shall we? Muscle weighs more than fat. So you might have gained muscle mass on your weight loss journey, and because the scales are not telling you the true story as to whether you've built muscle and lost body fat, the scales might have evened out. It's a good idea to, rather than just weigh yourself, to get your body composition assessed and measured. That will give you an indication of whether you're losing body fat, and if you are losing body fat and your weight is stalling, then there is a potential for muscle mass to be developing at the same time. Now, this is not something that is regular. You can develop muscle tissue and lose body fat at the same time. However, this is usually in people who are just starting out with their training, or people who are calorie cycling, or people who are using performance-enhancing drugs. So in most cases, you're probably starting out with your weight loss journey, you're hitting the gym, you're building a little bit of muscle tissue, you're losing a bit of body fat at the same time. So you're losing the weight, you're just gaining a little bit of muscle tissue, which makes it look like you're not losing weight. But I thought we'd cover that one. It's probably not the reason why you're not losing weight in a calorie deficit, but I thought we would cover that one because it could be a reason. Reason number 2, you're not in a calorie deficit. And let us discuss this. So the first thing we have to understand when it comes to being in a calorie deficit is, how do we know we're in a calorie deficit? It's not the easiest thing to measure. Yes, we can use things like MyFitnessPal, and we can check out the nutritional labels on foods that we eat, etc., and we can write everything down and record everything on an app or on a spreadsheet, but that's still not 100% accurate. In fact, nutrition labels on foods are up to 25% inaccurate. So you could actually think you're in a calorie deficit, but not in a calorie deficit. And if you're not measuring what you're eating and you think you're eating healthy food, you could actually be doing yourself more harm than good. Just have a look at this picture here to show you what a calorie miscalculation might look like. Now, reason number 3, again, you're not in a calorie deficit. And this time we're going to discuss the fact that you've miscalculated your actual calories that you need to burn in a day. So for example, like in the previous section where we talked about your calorie input being wrong, in this part, we're going to actually talk about your calorie output being wrong. You could actually overestimate how much calories you're burning in a day. You could overestimate how much calories you're burning through exercise. So for example, if you're using a piece of equipment in the gym like a rowing machine or a treadmill or a stepper or an elliptical machine, and they tell you how much calories you're burning, that might not be exactly 100% accurate. So you might think you're actually burning more calories than you are, and as a result, you're actually then consuming too many calories, and you're not in a calorie deficit, ergo, you're not losing the weight. Again, you're not in a calorie deficit, my friend. Reason number 4, adaptations. So, adaptations are all about the fact that your body is going to adapt. if you lose body fat and if you lose weight, your actual metabolic output will reduce. So when you think you're in a calorie deficit and you start to lose weight and the weight loss stalls, chances are your calorie output has reduced, but you haven't reduced the amount of calories you're putting into your body, and as a result things balance out, and because they balanced out, you're going to stop losing weight. And yes, that means you've got to calculate things on a regular basis. If you do start to see the weight loss stall, chances are you might have to reduce the amount of calories you eat or increase the amount of output you're doing through exercise or activity. And reason number 5. Oh, this one's going to really annoy you guys. Your cheat meals on your weekends. Yep. You don't realize it. You might think that a cheat meal is a good thing to have. Some people even go as far as having a cheat day. Like we've all seen the pictures of The Rock, right? Where he has that epic cheat meal and everyone thinks, well, if The Rock's that big, we can get away with a cheat meal. After all, cheat meals are good for you. They help your fat loss process. They increase your leptin levels. They make you feel psychologically refreshed. The problem is, for most of us, they can kick us out of our calorie deficit throughout the week quite considerably if we don't be careful. So when it comes to cheat meals, I'm not saying that don't have a meal once or twice a week where you eat whatever you want. Just be cognizant of the fact that you are going to increase your calorie input and you want to make sure that you balance that throughout the week. So weekends, for example, could be the worst thing for your diet. And it's not uncommon for some of my clients to come to me and tell me that they're not losing weight, they're doing everything right, and then when I question them about their weekends and I see what they're eating and drinking throughout the weekends, even though they might be creating a calorie deficit throughout the week of 1,000, 2,000, up to 5,000 calories throughout the week, they could easily blow that in the weekend through like pizzas and going out and drinks and desserts, etc., and then leftovers the next day. It can cause a recipe for disaster. And if you see the link that's going to pop up on one of these corners in the right-hand corner, I'm not sure which is the right-hand corner because I'm looking into the camera right now, you're going to get a link to a video that I made about the weekend and explaining exactly why the weekends can blow your diet. Okay, so those are the 5 reasons you're not losing weight even though you think you're in a calorie deficit. And at this point, it's worth going through the myth of starvation mode. Starvation mode is one of those things that you hear in the fitness industry or fitness community that isn't exactly backed up by science, but it sounds cute, so it gains a lot of traction and momentum. Starvation mode sounds like this. You're dropping a lot of calories, and because you're dropping so many calories, your body starts to think, I'm going into this starvation mode, therefore I should hold on to as much body fat as possible, and every time I eat some calories, I should store it as fat because I could go into starvation and I could die. Now that's not quite how the body works, and science has completely dispelled any notion of the starvation mode. You just have to look at people that actually starve to see that they're not fat. They don't have a lot of body fat on them. Now yes, you have people that go through famines who have gut dysbiosis to make them have that enlarged stomach, but that's not body fat. So if you think that by dropping your calories too low, you're going to actually stall your weight loss, or you're actually going to increase weight gain because your body's storing as many calories as possible, that's just not true. And again, there's no science to show that that is the case. So don't think that starvation mode is the reason as to why your weight loss is stalled even though you think you're in a calorie deficit. So the truth is, buddy, you're not in a calorie deficit, and I'm sorry to break that to you. So there you have it, 5 reasons why you are not losing weight even though you think you're in a calorie deficit. I hope you got value out of this video, and if you did, please leave a like to this video, subscribe to the channel, and give me a comment below to tell me what you learned from this video. Now I'm going to link you to another video in a very short space of time that's going to give you everything you need to know, well, almost, about nutrition. So if you want to learn more about nutrition, you're definitely going to want to check this video out. Until next time, have a great day, sweat more, suck less, and stay awesome.